Okay, this will probably be a little shaky, so I apologize. But I've had several people asking me how I did my lights, so I decided to do a behind the scenes tour during the day when you could see everything. There's the star up top. As you can see, I went pretty similar to a lot of those you see on YouTube and just made that. There's 3 channels on there, 100 lights on each channel, so that thing lights up pretty good. Come around to the side, I used Lightorama controllers. As you can see, it looks like an electrician's nightmare up there. Cords running everywhere. But anyway, coming off of there, it comes down, and I did white and blue on my house this year. Each window, as you can see, I have white and blue lights, a different channel for each one, a couple hundred lights on each window. And then on my eaves I did a couple different channels, so that eave is a couple channels, then over here is a couple more, and it runs around. You can see all the wires coming down from that star wrapping around the side to go to all these windows. My networking cable comes down right here and exits the house here also. But there's power for this other second controller, comes from right there over to these trees. And I did those wagon wheels in these trees on one controller of itself, so there's my second controller. I made a lot of my own extension cords. If I get in close here, all these black cords are the ones I've made. Again, it looks like a nightmare, but it's really not as bad as it looks. I'm not running more than 400 lights on one, so I'm not worried about heating up or causing problems with the extension cords. Follow this green one. It comes over here to my second controller, or third one I mean. When I went across my driveway, there's cement right here, so I just put a couple boards to the side and anchored them so they wouldn't move. And then I can drive over it and not have to worry about smashing my network cable. Let's walk around this way. Controller number 3 is sitting right here. And yes, as a side note, these are bolted on good, so you would have to unlock them and undo the bolts in them, not screws, bolts, in order to steal these suckers, so it'd be kind of hard. Whole bunch of wires coming off there again. This one runs my wagon. I used multicolored lights on the wagon there. And I put a whole bunch of lights strung out through these raspberries also. There's a couple thousand lights over right there. As I step back, you can see I made this arch. I mimicked the arches as you saw. I used the YouTube videos on how to build it. There's 7 channels on this arch. I didn't go too crazy. Mostly my first year, didn't really need to go very crazy. Then these deer, there's 500 lights on each deer, and they dance back and forth also. Right here is the shadow box I built, and I put lights inside it. It does dance to the music also. It turns on and off to the beats and whatnot. And some parts, like at the very beginning of the song, I have it come on and just stay on for 30 seconds or so, just so you can see it to tune in good. Okay, let's follow over here. Because I drive a heavy semi and that also through my driveway, I didn't want to drive over my network wire, so I actually buried a pipe here, and where those cats are, it goes under into that pipe, follows over to here, and it comes out of the pipe at this end and runs over to my mega tree to controller number 4. This is my mega tree. We had a pretty strong wind yesterday, so some of the wires have moved. I do have them zip tied, but it like still moves. If I can get that back, I'll like slide this one back over where it belongs. But anyway, they're spaced apart like that. I did one channel for 4 strings of lights that go up there, and I used 8 channels on this mega tree, so it will spin and rotate. And there's 2 colors, red and green. Looks like an absolute electrician's nightmare again right there. But it's not as bad as it looks, really. So, anyway, I follow this, and it goes up to the top. I did make that star up there. I just used the cups to do the star, and there's 3 channels in that sucker. And I also have these strobes on the mega tree. I did a couple channels of those strobes hiding out through here, so they all come on and off in different timings. Looks pretty neat at night. And this sucker is my projector. I just keep it on, otherwise it won't stay on. But this projects an image up onto the side of my grain bin right here at night, so you can see it. It wouldn't turn on at night, so I had to leave it on all the time. So it just shows a picture of Christ on the side of the bin. Yes, I do have lights up on my grain bins and down my elevators here. And run lights all over the place. Here, I had to come over here again. There's more extension cords going over to my shop and into my shop for power. So, anyway, all in all, if I back up, there's all the look of all that. I used about 21,000 lights on this setup this year. Not much if you look at most of the YouTube videos, but it's a lot to me. So, especially out in the middle of nowhere, out in Arbon, Idaho. If you take a look around, you can see all my neighbors. My nearest neighbor is 1.5 miles if you cut through the field. So anyway, I hope you found it interesting. It was pretty fun to do. I sure appreciate all the comments and the people parked out front all the time enjoying the show. Thanks again.